Man, what a game. What a game. What a game. Gary Trent, killer shot at the end. Buzzer beater. Gary Trent, the killer three, and the slight push up or whatever. And Neto like embellishes it, tries making a huge scene out of it, falls over and makes a huge dramatic fall. And the refs are like, screw this, that's a terrible flop. And then he just knocks it down in transition with the shot clock and the game clock running down. And there's this cold-blooded three as the Raptors steal this game from the Wizards. The Wizards were on fire from three. Garrison Matthews and Davis Bertans were on fire from deep. Westbrook hits a huge 5-point barrage in the end of the last 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. After going 0 for 8 in the fourth quarter, he makes up for it by scoring 5 straight points. But you know what? Raul Neto on the last play takes an ill-advised shot, and you know what? It causes the Wizards to be running back in transition with everybody scrambling, and the Raptors down one. Gary Trent Jr. gets the basketball, dribbles all the way, and behind the back, pulls it from deep. Nothing but net. Great finish and great build up towards the finish. Raptors were down double digits heading into the fourth quarter. The bench lineup, and in this game there was no Lowry, there was no Van Vliet, who was out with the hip flexor, and no Bradley Beal. So the Raptors were pretty much a new makeshift lineup again. And I thought Malachi Flynn was going to start, but Bembry started. And I think Bembry did a great job tonight. Maybe not in the beginning, but in the fourth quarter and that second half, he did a great job just playing the game, reading the game. He played with pace at times. He slowed it down at times. He knew when to drive, when to play make. And him and Baines had a good pick and roll going. And Baines, man, shout out to Baines. When Chris Boucher was giving you nothing, he wasn't giving you no defense, he was getting dominated by Alex Len. Shameless, first off. And he was missing every single wide open three that he was getting. He just wasn't giving you anything. I know he got that first block in the beginning, but you know what? He's got to give you something more consistent, and he can't score around the rim, so he's got to be a knockdown shooter, whether he's going to go in the mid-range or he's got to be knocking down those threes. Maybe he should mix it up and get some pick and rolls instead. But he was a brick tonight on both ends. But then Aaron Baines, huge three, and then he gets a layup, and he was just playing hard defensively. He was getting boards, and he was getting blocks as well. Aaron Baines was doing it all tonight. The lineup of Bembry, Flynn, OG, Baines, and Watanabe, huge in the fourth quarter. They made that comeback, that double-digit comeback, and brought the game in closer. Nick Nurse takes out OG, puts in Siakam. Siakam instantly scores. And you know what? The Raptors were playing hard. They were playing together. And the defense was clicking. Malachi Flynn, another huge game from him. Defensively, he was a monster tonight. I think it was like 4 steals and 3 blocks. Like something ridiculous. And he was scoring, passing. And out of the gate, he came in. Pull up, transition three, wet, and then he started getting some and ones, making some drives, looking for contact, and he was playing well, confident and poised. He knew he was going to get huge minutes tonight since Van Vliet and Lowry are out, and he came in and he did a great job. Shout out to Bembry, shout out to Flynn, shout out to Siakam, who had a strong start to keep the Raptors in it. But player of the game, Gary Trent Jr., that 3-point shot, cold-blooded. And he was walking gingerly throughout the game after he kind of, pulled or hurt himself when he's trying to pick up Siakam off the ground. Then he got hit hard going for left-handed layup, which he scored by Garrison Matthews after Garrison Matthews contested it. And then he crashed the ground with Gary Trent Jr. But after getting gingerly up, he looked perfectly fine on that last possession. But it remains to be seen if he is going to miss the next game going forward. But an amazing game, amazing finish. Russell Westbrook triple-double. Of course, he was one, I think, assist away from a triple-double in the first half. He got that, but he couldn't lead this team because the Raptors just, put their bootstraps out and started playing defense hard in that fourth quarter. And you know what? It really stole this game away. This is a game the Raptors maybe shouldn't have had, but they fought for it and they earned it. Huge win. And this is the Raptors' second win of the month, and I think that's tied or more than the amount of wins they had in the month of March. So that really shows you how bad we were in March. But Raptors on a 2-game winning streak. Keep it moving. Just got to keep chugging along, and this team is playing well. Couple things I want to point out. First off, the Pascal Siakam drive where he got called for a charge. That should have been a blocking call. The guy's feet were in the restricted zone. So not sure why the refs didn't call that, or even that should be something you guys should be able to review the refs. But you know what? Pascal Siakam, not clutch once again, but this time it was the referee's fault. I think that should have been free throws, and the Raptors could have taken the lead right there. But you know what? The slight push up by Gary Trent Jr., I guess they said, give that back, whatever. And they didn't blow the whistle there, even though Neto embellished it. Another point got to point out, Chris Boucher, for all that he does on the defensive end blocking shots, he sometimes just goes for blocks unnecessarily. And in this game, Alex Len, not a 2-point shooter, not a 3-point shooter at all. And every time Alex Len set a pick at the 3-point line, Chris Boucher is falling back and allows OG to get screened, or whoever's guarding the shooter, whoever's guarding Matthews or Bertans, and they get wide open looks. And that's communication from your big guy. Boucher's got to do a better job of telling his teammates where the screen's coming from. And if that's not the case, if he's not going to be able to tell them, maybe he can just, be on the opposite side so they know where he is. And you know what? Step up on the screen, show on the screen instead of just sagging back, because they're getting wide open looks. And then these shooters, when they just step into it, they're money, especially Bertans. Bertans is a sniper. So you can't have that. Can't have that kind of, lack of communication. And that's why I think Baines played more minutes in that fourth quarter compared to Boucher. Just wasn't smart enough on the defensive end. If you on the offensive end, he is a person you have to guard. But tonight, with his 3-point shooting, which was as atrocious as it was, Baines was a better option. Hate to say it, but Chris Boucher really needs to improve his 3-point shooting and his communication on the defensive end. Otherwise, this team is going to struggle, and the Raptors still got to do a better job on the rebounds. Rebounding is an issue once again. Wizards had like 4 attempts, I think 4 or 5 attempts on one possession. It was just getting ridiculous, but the Raptors somehow got the rebound and settled down. But you know what? Grinded out the win, huge win. Got to keep it rolling. Road to the playoffs, guys. Guys, let me know what you guys think of tonight's game. Like, share, and subscribe to the Raptors Wrap Up. Until next time. Peace.